All right, hello, welcome to this video. We're going to talk about Nice Bus. The new schedule will start May 28th, 2023, so in 4 days, we will have new schedules going into effect. I believe that's Sunday. Yeah, it says right here, our new summer schedule is going into effect on Sunday, May 28th, 2023, and they say, we have made minor adjustments to schedules on nearly all our major routes to help accommodate growth in ridership and changes in ridership patterns. These new schedule tweaks will make for better connections and more convenient travel times. Additionally, we have increased trip frequency on multiple routes. N16 express trips to NCC have been suspended for the summer because classes are out. Some N22X trips will now end at Roosevelt Field, and the N88 express service will offer service to Jones Beach from the Freeport LIRR 7 days a week, and we've added Saturday and Sunday departures from Hempstead Transit Center. So now they're calling it N88 Express. They're saying that there's going to be new bilingual public service announcements along with real-time information at Mineola, which we've seen already. They put the new kiosks in. We upgraded the font on our bus head signs so that they're more visible and easy to read from far away. And we are starting to install new digital bus stop signs at select stops that will provide real-time arrival information. So, first glance, and I've already looked at these schedules here, and I have public comments of the schedules here, and I haven't really noticed any big changes as far as the 22 and 24 goes. We're going to, I guess, start with the 24 and see if this is the new schedule, and we'll go and we'll look at the current schedule that's up here for the 24. All right, so hopefully I'll be able to load both of these side by side, and it won't. Yeah, all right, here we go. Perfect. All right. So here we go, the 24. And looking at the times here, let's see if there's been any changes here. And oops, see this. All right, so it looks like not really any major changes here. Maybe a few small timing adjustments here and there on the 24. I don't see any major changes looking at it at a glance here. All right, so this is the new one, and this is the old one. I don't see any major changes here. It looks like the schedules are pretty much the same on the 24 for the weekdays. I'm looking at them right now. Let's see if there's any changes here. It's hard to look at a glance. Let's see. All right, there might be some changes here on the weekdays as far as the timing goes. Let's see. All right, so I'm looking at the new one. No, it looks the same. Let's see, I'm looking at it right now. Looks the same. I don't want to waste your time because most of these schedule adjustments, they're fairly small. It's just like with the railroad, not really a whole lot's changing, but there are a few big changes, and actually I should probably go to those first so I don't bore you with this. All right, so let's go look at the weekend, and I don't think the weekend seen any changes either. Let's see if they've made any changes on the weekend. I don't think so. I don't see any changes. I really don't. It looks just the schedule looks different. It's in a different style from the old one. Maybe a little more confusing almost because they put them on like together, and now the problem is now you don't even know what's what because this is all the way up here, so you got to glance all the way down here to look, which makes it a little more confusing. Let's see. I don't see any really big changes here. It seems like everything is more or less the same. Yeah, it seems like more or less everything is the same here, so I don't want to waste your time with this. Close this one up and close this one up, and we'll look at where there are changes because there are some changes on certain routes, and I'll highlight the ones that I know that are changing, and one of them is the N80. All right, so the N80 is changing, so let's go to this, and I kind of made a post about it a while ago. Oops, no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, we got to do it like this. Don't want to lose that window. All right, so this is the new N80, and look at the old one up here right now. You say they've added service, but I don't see where the service has been added. And the N80 has a major change. So This is the N80 over here, all right? And the N80 has had a major change in that. This has all been adjusted about 45 minutes earlier. So there are the same amount of runs, but they've been adjusted earlier, all right? So unfortunately, the 7:45 trip, which is a trip I like to take out of Sunrise Mall going to Hicksville, well, that trip's going to now be a lot earlier. So if we look at the new schedule, you will see that it now becomes a 6:25 trip. Actually, that's a lot earlier. So that's more than 45 minutes earlier. That is almost an hour and a half earlier. So yeah, it's a big change. You see, the amount of trips is still the same, but they've shifted them earlier. So instead of there being a 3:50 trip out of Sunrise Mall, it's now a 3 o'clock trip. So you can see it's 50 minutes earlier. And the problem with this is that right now the old schedule is designed that the last run gets into Hicksville and then goes out of service. But now they've designed it so there's a run out of Hicksville at 7:13. So there's a later run out of Hicksville, a slightly later run out of Hicksville at 7:50. And then it just goes out of service, and I don't know where it goes. Maybe it does another run, or maybe it just drives all the way back to the depot empty. I'm guessing they're doing this because, well, let's face it, there aren't that many people on the bus. Most of the time I take it, there's only 2 or 3 people on the bus, and that's it. And most of them are getting off places that are near other routes. They have to walk a little bit, but they're near other routes. So, this is the problem with the N80. I don't know if it does any better earlier on. But you'll see that the first trip out of Hicksville was 3:50. That's going to so first trip out of Hicksville was 3 o'clock, and it's going to be 3:50. So that's shifted later. So it seems like Hicksville is getting less service, or the amount of hours of service that Hicksville are getting have shrunk, I guess, a little bit, you could say, but the amount of runs are still the same. So whatever the case is, I'm wondering if they're doing some interlining here or something like that. I don't know, but I'm not happy about it. Obviously, it's a reduction of service to the middle of the island. At least that's the way I view it from the South Shore. It's a nice route because I don't have to go through Hempstead. I like that. I don't have to go through Hempstead, and because they did what they did, now I'm going to be more likely to take the train the whole way because I don't like going through Hempstead. Hempstead is a dangerous place. It's worse than Jamaica. I know Jamaica is bad as far as but at the station itself, Jamaica, there's always plenty of security. You don't usually see too many hoodlums on the platforms at the Long Island Railroad. I feel safer on the Long Island Railroad platforms at Jamaica than I do in Hempstead, all right? So that's why I like avoiding Hempstead if at all possible. Not to mention you got to ride through Hempstead. When you're running on the train through Jamaica, you're on a train. You're not on the street. It's a different thing. Let's go to the N19 now. All right, so the N19 looks like that more or less stays the same. Let's see. I think it stayed the same pretty much. Yeah, more or less stays the same. No changes there. N78, 79. I'm not going to go through every single route here. It looks like those times more or less stay the same. Let's see. I'm looking now. If you can point out anything that's changed. It does seem like there's a reduction of runs on the 78 and 79. So let's see. I'll have to count them because it seems like there's a reduction of runs. Let's see. I don't know if it's the weekend or so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And the new ones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, it's still the same amount. Maybe it's just a font. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like something's different. I'm looking at it right now. All right, this is the new one. I don't see any changes. I'm sure I'm missing it. 6, 7, 730, 805, 6, 7, 725, 8, 825. So there are some time changes here. 930, 1005. I'm just wondering maybe it's the weekend that's changed. Let's see. So the 7. Maybe it's the weekend that's changed. I'm sure I'm missing something, and it just seems like the columns are less. So I know I'm missing something. 5, 530, 555. Ah, yes. They've taken a run out of here. They've taken a run out. So 5. All right, so now instead of a 5, there is no more 530 run that goes to Walt Whitman. Now it is a 5:49 run. So they shifted it around. So it's running. You actually have more hours of service, I think. That there's a later trip out of Walt Whitman now. It's 6:35 versus currently 6:30. So it's a little bit later. So 6:12 becomes 6:30, and then 5:55, which was a 78, became a 79. That's what happened here, I think. So yeah, it became a 79, and now there's two more 78. So they shifted the buses around a little bit, but there is somewhat less service than there was before. But you do have a later trip out of the last trip before going to Walt Whitman was, let's see, the last trip before was 5:30. Now it's 5:49. So you do have a later trip going back from Hicksville. I don't know what they did with the old trip. 5:30 became 6:12, and I guess it had a longer layover. So now you have less of a layover for the bus driver, I guess, over there. But anyway, looking at the weekends, let's see if anything changed there. Yeah, weekends also changed. So the 79, the last 78 trip was 7:43. Now it's 7:30. And it doesn't go all the way to Newton. It only goes to Bethpage Road. 7:48, and then going back, 8:07 was the old train. Now it's 7:51. So yeah, they have cut service on the 78, 79. They shifted things around. Of course, taking away service from the middle of the island. Why am I not surprised about that? I'm not surprised. It's not just the railroad that does it anymore. It's Nice Bus too. So let's now go. Hit the back button here, and we'll look at another schedule. We'll look at the 22 and see if anything has changed there. And I don't really think the timings have changed on the 22 all that much, but we'll go and we'll look at that next. All right, so 22. No. PDF. No, PDF. I got to click it twice. That's right. All right. PDF. Let's go here. All right, PDF. All right, so let's see if there are any changes here. And honestly, I don't think there's going to be. But let's see if there are. It doesn't look like it. It almost looks exactly. Well, again, I see less columns. So the 22, let's see. They had a 4:40 trip out of Mineola. They took it away. And now it's a 4:35 trip and 4:59. So, yeah, it seems like they have taken some service away from the middle of the island. Just by doing this. Back, there are a few runs out there that are missing. Some run later, some do have certain. I can't go over every single change that has been made here. That's funny because they said they added service to routes, but yet when I do this, let me get these columns even here because they're the exact same size and they look exactly the same. So let me get these even here, or fairly close to level here. So we flip between the two here, and you'll see that there are a few less columns here. When I go, that's the old, this is the new. So there are a few less columns here. And the weekends, we'll look at the weekends here. It's hard to pinpoint because the times I take it, generally no changes have occurred. But let's see if we have the same. This is the same. So the weekend's more or less the same. There's no changes for the Saturday. Let's see Sunday. Let's see Sunday. No changes. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. So your weekend schedule on the 22 is the same, but the weekday schedule has some changes to it. I like how they word it, minor changes. Some of them are not so minor, you know? Especially for those of us in the middle of the island. I think the 25 pretty much stays the same. We'll look at that as well. All right, so that's the 25, and we'll go here, and we'll look at the 25. I can't go over every single route. There are some additions to service on some routes, though, however. So let's go look at the 25, and I don't think there's any changes here. We'll just swap between them here. Yeah, they look exactly the same. No changes. I don't see any changes here. Nope, exactly the same. Let's go here, scroll down here. All right, might be some changes here with the times. All right, let's see. Oh, they have a mistake. They have some military times here, I notice. Interesting. So, I have some military times here. All right, so Well, we looked at that. Let's go to another route. And let's look at the 15. So I'm not going to go over every single route. I already kind of went over the 16, which doesn't look like it had any changes, but we're going to look at the 15 next. Especially the routes with whatchamacallit, headway management. I'm not going to look at the schedules on those because they have headway management, and it's really hard to look at that. All right, so here's the 15. All right, so it's showing the weekend first, and this is the new one. So let's see. Looks more or less the same. Don't see any changes. Looks exactly the same for the weekend. No changes. What about the 15 over here? For the Monday through Friday. Let's see if there's any changes here. The best thing to do is just line them up and then just go back and forth, and it kind of helps you see if there are any changes. All right, it looks like they did take away the arrival times at Hempstead instead there, because Hempstead Transit Center looks like they're going to be arriving at a different. I guess maybe they're just not going to be. All right, so this is current. All right, let's see. I don't see any changes down here on the Monday through Friday side, other than that no layover at Hempstead. All right, so that's the new. Yeah, everything looks more or less the same. All right, so let's, now that we got that out of the way, let's go. Keep going here. And we'll go to the 23. The 23. We'll pick a North Shore route. I can't do all the North Shore. I can't do them all. I'm sorry. 23. Especially routes that have headway management. I'll try to do one for the 21. So here's the 23 schedule. All right, it's in a different spot, so I can't flip back and forth here. Honestly, it looks like nothing has changed. For the most part, nothing has changed. However, the old schedule, it looks like they did add a trip at night. So 10:05 was the last bus from Mineola. 10:53 going back on a weekday. 9 o'clock was the last trip on weekends. 9:53 last trip going back. Let's see. No, it's the same. So nothing has changed. Basically, it's the same. Nothing has changed. All right, so it's that. That stayed the same. So a lot of these have stayed the same. They haven't, or they've had very minor timing changes. Let's now go to the 70, 71, 72. And by the way, the 75 is going to be going away. That route was a stupid route. it was pointless. It really was a pointless route. So difference here, you don't see the 75 there anymore. That was a stupid route. I don't know why they created it. Didn't carry anyone. Went nowhere. So here we go. Looking at the weekends first here. Let's see. And these, actually, I could line up again so we can do this again. See if there are any changes here. Looks more or less the same to me. Weekdays. So you can always pause the video and look, and please, if you see something I missed, welcome to point it out. Obviously, this is going to look different because the 75 isn't there anymore. But other than that, I think the times have pretty much similar at this point. All right. Now, let's go look at the and 48, 49. Actually, I don't think anything's changed. Oh, we can look at the 40, 41, but that thing is, this is on headway management. So, and these times are pretty much the same. All right. Same thing for the 4 and the 6. They're on headway management too. So, I mean, I could look at the 4, I guess. Pull up the 4 schedule here. See if there are any changes here to it. More or less the same to me. Wait, there may be one less 4 express here. Let's see. The express column looks a little smaller. I don't know if you can point that out. I don't know. I can't. Something that's not there anymore. I know that. It's smaller. But what, I don't know. Ah, all right. There was a 919 N4 Express. Uh, that is not on the schedule anymore. So they did take an N4 Express out. See, they took. They it seems like they shortened the hours of the N4 Express a little bit. This is just the Express we're looking at here. And the local, again, it's on Headway Management. I'm guessing they did that. All right, and these are the weekend schedules. We can look at the weekend, and I don't think anything's changed with that. We can look at the weekend here. No, looks the same to me. All right. I mean, it's hard to go over every single route. We're gonna try, but it's it's hard to go over every single route. We'll do the 48, 49. I know the 54, 55 hasn't changed at all. Already looked at that, but we can look at that as well. All right, 54, 55. So you gotta click here, and then. All right, let's see. And this has the 48, 49 on it too, so we can actually do both of them at the same time. So, all right, so let's see if there's been any changes. I gotta get these all lined up. Doesn't look like it. Looks like that's the same. All right, looks like there are some changes here. All right, so. All right, 50. This is this column here. It's so hard, confusing. This is the 48, 49. Okay, so let's see. It seems like there might be a change here. 1158 basically becomes 12. So they just have them. No, 12 becomes 1158. All right, so, they kind of have one run that doesn't have a clock face schedule, but the way Nice Bus is already with that. No changes. All right, no changes other than that. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to the 33. And the N88, of course. So you have the N88. It's on one schedule now, the N88 and the N80X. So the N88 provides hourly service weekdays between Jones Beach and Freeport. And the N88X, well, they're all called X. They're all called X. XB. I don't know why they want to call it the X. It was always Express. I don't know why they do. It's just a marketing gimmick. So let's see, and we can't really compare with an old schedule here, but again, you have hourly service basically much of the day from Hempstead. So one run starts at Hempstead, one run starts at Freeport. So there you go, and those are your buses that are out in the evening. Fortunately, if you want to watch a sunset at Jones Beach, you can't because the last bus out of there is 8:55. Still, though, I guess it's a decent. I don't have the schedule from last year, so I can't say what changes. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to the 33 over here. All right, so I got to look at the 33. Because I think they increased service on the 33. Let's see. So here's the 33 now. And 33 then. All right, so let's match this up here. Let's see. Can't really there, right? I can't scroll it to the right exact point. All right. Well, let's see. Doesn't look like anything's changed. No, nothing's changed here on the 33. Just runs Monday through Saturday. No Sunday service. No changes. No changes on that either. Okay. It's, I'm getting tired. All right, I think we looked at the 25 already. I don't remember. I think we did. It's no changes. I already looked at it. I could look at it again if you want. Maybe I didn't look at it. I don't remember. It's hard. We can also look at the 35 too. I don't know where they added service though. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. All right, 25. He's lined up. No changes except the fact they have an error where they're displaying again 24-hour times. But other than that, no changes. All right. All right. Okay. I think it's going to wrap it up soon. I'm just wondering where they increased service. That's what I'm wondering. Who got increased service? Maybe it was the 3132. Maybe they're the ones that got increased service. We'll go to that. And that route also has headway management, too. And 31. Headway management on here. So I think, well, maybe not. All right. There isn't headway management. Okay. All right, let's see. Looks more or less the same. Don't see any difference. I got to position this right. Hold on. I don't see any difference here. I really don't. It's more or less the same. Yeah, no changes here either. So, I mean, I'm wasting your time with this video. I really am. There's just a few significant changes you need to be aware of, I think. But I'm not going over any more routes, so sorry. So, I mean, I guess I could do the 20. Lastly, we'll do the 20. That'll be it. Right, and there's headway management on this route, too, so that's why if it's headway management, you can see this headway management here, so honestly, I don't see any. They might have actually added service to this route. Okay, let's see. We're looking at weekdays, 10:55. Yes, they have. They've added service to Hicksville. They've added service. So this is where the service was added, on the North Shore, interestingly enough. So it looks like there was some service added here. On the 20. The 20 has more service going to Hicksville now. This is the 20H. This is your everyday schedule for the 20G, because that's again a headway management every 15. They put this logo here. It's confusing. I'm glad they fixed it. Tell people what the headway management is here. There are some changes here, it looks like. Going back from Great Neck to Flushing. 11:02, and it was, let's see. It doesn't even say what C is here. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's earlier. The last trip going back is earlier now. This would be a candidate. Great Neck and Flushing, it's a candidate for. Look at this. They made it like this. I can't even read that. So, but anyway, that's enough. I don't want to waste your time anymore. You can look on the site yourself. I probably missed some changes, but again, there's some other small changes to some of the other routes, some of these more minor routes here, I think. But other than that, everything's, just check your schedule, just to be safe. Because again, if you're taking the N80 and you're taking the 78, 79, seems to be some more major changes on those routes. But it wraps up this video. And again, Jones Beach service starts this Friday, May 26th. Thank you for watching.